The parking garage attendant blocked my car and said, "Your wife isn't who you think she is. Check the trunk." I stared at the old man like he'd lost his mind. He was maybe 60, wearing a faded parking garage uniform, but his eyes were sharp and desperate in a way that made my stomach drop. Before I could respond, he pressed a crumpled photograph into my hand and disappeared through a service door marked "Staff Only." I looked down at the photo and my knees nearly buckled. It showed my wife Rebecca sitting in a restaurant booth, laughing, her hand intertwined with a man I'd never seen before. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was the date stamp in the corner, 3 days ago, when she'd told me she was visiting her sick mother in Connecticut. My hands were shaking as I walked to the trunk of my Audi, pressed the release button, and watched it slowly rise. What I found inside made me vomit right there on the concrete floor of level B3. Beneath the spare tire cover, hidden in a compartment I didn't even know existed, were 3 burner phones, 2 thick stacks of cash held together with rubber bands, and a manila folder stuffed with documents. I grabbed the folder first, my mind refusing to process what I was seeing. Insurance policies. 7 of them, all with massive payouts, all listing me as the insured and Rebecca as the sole beneficiary. The total coverage exceeded $4 million, but the document that made my blood turn to ice was underneath the policies. A printed email thread between my wife and someone named Dr. M, discussing the timeline for my upcoming spinal surgery scheduled for next month. The surgery my doctor said was routine. The surgery Rebecca had been so supportive about, so insistent that I get the best care possible. The email thread detailed exactly how they planned to make sure I never woke up from anesthesia, how they would manipulate the dosages, how they would ensure that the complications looked natural and unavoidable. I don't know how long I stood there reading those emails, but every word carved another piece out of the life I thought I knew. Rebecca and Dr. M had been planning this for over a year, ever since my car accident, which suddenly didn't seem like an accident anymore. They discussed dosages and timing and how to make complications look natural. They joked about what they'd do with the money afterward, the house in Costa Rica, the life they'd build together once I was gone. Dr. M called her baby and sweetheart and my forever love. Rebecca called him things I can't repeat, things she'd never said to me in 9 years of marriage. There were references to previous successes, to lessons learned, to a system they'd perfected together over many years. My wife wasn't just planning to kill me. She was apparently a professional at it, and I wasn't her first target. The realization hit me like a physical blow, and I had to grab the edge of the trunk to keep from collapsing. The burner phones confirmed my worst fears. One of them still had battery, and the text messages read like a horror novel written about my own life. Rebecca updated Dr. M on my medical appointments, my psychological state, my suspicions or lack thereof. She reported that I trusted her completely, that I had no idea what was coming, that I was the perfect mark because I worked so much and paid so little attention to household details. She complained about having to sleep with me, called it her sacrifice for the cause, said she couldn't wait until it was over, and she could stop pretending to love a man she found boring and predictable. 9 years. 9 years of marriage, 2 children, thousands of shared meals and family vacations, and whispered conversations in the dark. All of it performance, all of it preparation, for the moment she would collect $4 million and start her real life with a man who helped her kill people for profit. I scrolled through message after message, each one more devastating than the last, until I couldn't see through the tears blurring my vision. Full story on my channel and linked below.